I was that kid who would gain 5 pounds over the weekend no matter how hard I tried. You know, I was never one of those lean guys. I grew up struggling with my weight. Eventually, I labeled myself as an endomorph, someone that's genetically doomed to stay fat. But over the last 20 years, everything has changed. Studied the science of fat loss and I tested it on myself. I've worked with clients from all walks of life. In this video, I'm sharing the most underrated habits that helped me transform my body and, most importantly, maintain it. These aren't the usual surface level tips. These are habits that almost nobody talks about, but they are what separates temporary fat loss from lifelong results. Stick around to the end because once you understand these habits, you'll have a roadmap to sustainable change. Let's start with the foundation of sustainable fat loss, the 15,000 steps rule. Now, I know walking isn't flashy, but it's highly effective. Here's the truth. Walking is low impact, highly recoverable, and something you can do every single day without burning out. Sprint every day, you'll fry your recovery and your motivation, and you'll quit before even seeing any results. Physiologically, walking increases what we call NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. That's energy you burn just moving around, and it can easily add up to hundreds of calories a day without even feeling like a workout. From what I've seen in myself and clients and coaches from all around the world, one thing stands out, and that's the people who walk the most keep the weight off for the longest. Start with 10,000 steps a day and gradually move up to 15,000. Over time, that's about 150 minutes daily. Remember, consistency beats intensity every single time. Number 2, walking burns calories and builds momentum. But if you want to shape your body and not just shrink it, you need this next piece. Most people trying to lose fat are stuck in a loop. And every time they fall off, they blame their willpower. But it's not a willpower problem. It's a missing piece problem. Protein. When I increased my protein intake, everything shifted. Felt like I was in control. And for the first time, I could stay in a deficit without battling against my body's biology. It kills cravings by triggering fullness hormone. It preserves your muscle so that you lose fat and not strength. Here's what worked for me. 30 to 50 grams of protein per meal. If you weigh around 180 to 200 pounds, that's 82 to 91 kilograms, aim for 180 to 200 grams of protein per day. If you are smaller, 130 to 150 grams of protein per day. Let's be real, some days you're going to be too busy to cook. Other days you're going to open the fridge and think, I've got nothing. And that's what we call decision fatigue. It kills your momentum. But one mindset that changed everything for me, no matter what, is don't skip your protein. Protein became my anchor even when I didn't eat clean. It's not about being perfect, it's about having a fallback for when you fall off track, and that keeps momentum. Once you nail your protein and you consistently stay in a deficit, fat loss won't become easier, it will become automatic. Protein gives your body the raw material to build. But building does not happen while you are moving. So let's talk about the habit that most people skip until they burn out. Here's the truth. Lack of sleep doesn't just make you tired. It makes you undisciplined, irritable, and foggy. It's not that you're lazy. You're just unrested. It drops your testosterone by up to 30%. Set a bedtime alarm, not just the morning one. No caffeine after 12 p.m. Yes, even if you think that you are immune. Stop eating or drinking 2 to 3 hours before bedtime. Get natural sunlight in the morning or get yourself a day lamp. And the big one, put your phone down before going to bed. Now, sleep gives you the energy to show up, but how do you use that energy the next day? That's where most people stumble, and it usually starts in the kitchen, right in front of the fridge. Let me tell you, most people don't struggle with discipline. They struggle with what we call decision fatigue. Stop trying to figure out your meals in the moment. Start planning when you are calm, a day before the time. Or even better, choose 1 or 2 or 3 meals that you know how many calories are in them and repeat those daily. Simple, predictable, yet effective. Let me be real with you. I don't track every single calorie. But here's what I always do. I anchor every meal with protein. This isn't about perfection. It's about having a system in place that keeps you consistent. And for those of you who say, but I need variety, well, so do I. But your variety is earned through structure. Start with a repetition and build your rhythm. Then you can bring the fun back on your own terms. Okay, we get it. You're eating better. You're training more consistently. But here's the big question. How do you know it's actually working? Most people think the answer is the scale. 1 high carb meal, 1 salty dinner, even 1 late night snack, the number of your weight is going to shoot right up. Body's holding on to more water or food volume, or better yet, just doing its thing. Here's what I do instead. progress pictures. Same time of day, same lighting, same relaxed posture. And every couple of weeks, I can see it, even if the scale hasn't moved at all. It reminds you that this process is working even if it's not linear. Progress pictures are going to help you see change, but what about those days that you're still training very hard and you still feel tired or even yet just stuck? Sometimes the problem is not what you're eating, it's what you're not drinking. Here's what most people don't realize. You're not always hungry, you might just not be hydrated, and your brain is not good at telling the difference. I thought I needed more discipline, but turns out I just needed more water. Here's what I go by: 30 to 40 mils per kilogram of body weight. If you're 80 kilograms, 176 pounds, that's about 2.4 to 3.2 liters of water per day. So you've dialed in your sleep, you're eating enough protein, you're staying hydrated. But let's talk about the one thing most people overdo or completely ignore: movement. You don't need cardio for fat loss, just lift and eat right. Technically, that is true, but here's what most people miss: cannot and should not lift heavy every single day. For most people, 3 to 4 well-structured lifting sessions is ideal for a week. Outside of that, you still need to move, you still need to burn energy. This isn't punishment, it's not HIIT, it's not sprints or suffering. Think fast walking, light jogging, or incline on a treadmill, cycling or rowing at a pace where you can still maintain a conversation. Your heart rate should sit between 110 to 130 beats per minute. 2 to 3 zone 2 sessions per week, 30 to 45 minutes each. But what do you do if the week's been going extremely well for you, you've dialed in everything, and then all of a sudden the cravings hit you out of nowhere? Now, what if I told you eating more could help you lose more? We call these refeeds. Refeeding is not cheating. A refeed is a planned higher calorie meal that you usually incorporate at least once a week. Most people burn out not because they're lazy, but it's because their plan misses that concept of still being able to remain a human. It serves two powerful purposes. It restores your glycogen so you can train harder and perform better. And it also reduces diet fatigue so you can stay consistent for longer. I use it for one meal, whatever I feel like. You're still in a caloric deficit, but you're just strategically distributing your calories better. Your mood and your energy stabilize. And you break the cycle of labeling food as good or bad. When food becomes moralized, so does your self-worth. Now that you've got all 8 habits, you might be wondering, how do I put all of this together? If you're ready to turn these habits into your own sustainable fat loss system, watch this video next. It contains the exact blueprint I used to lose 10 kgs, and it also contains the rest of the habits.